Mrs. Martha Udumi Manuel has been decorated as patron of the African Women in Leadership Organization, AWULO, for contributions towards the organization's vision and the uplift of the womanhood. The honor was done her during the inauguration of the Akwa Ibom State chapter of the African Women in Leadership Organization and the placard of the organization mentoring program, One Mother, One Child, a program aimed at celebrating motherhood while also encouraging members of the organization to adopt, foster and sponsor children by ensuring that they attain the highest level of education. The founder of AWULO, Mr. Lisha Atai, said the organization is committed to ensuring that women on the African continent are given their rightful place in leadership. AWULO, he said, AWULO seeks to advance the status of women in Africa by creating platforms, in harnessing the synergies of alliance. The inauguration of the state chapter, according to her, was in line with the group's agenda of creating awareness.
That disadvantage in terms of mothers represent child love and care and seek to offer the world.
The wife of the governor, Mrs. Martha Udumi Manuel, said Akwa Ibom State has recorded unprecedented gains in the advancement of women due to the gender-responsive policies of the immediate past administration. She noted that Akwa Ibom currently stands at the threshold of a historic economic takeoff, since one half of the population which constitutes the female gender cannot afford to be left out. She applauded the effort of AWULO in launching a state chapter, as this will contribute towards enhancing the leadership potentials of women of the state. She showed of a personal commitment towards addressing existing gaps in women's leadership capacity in the state.
As someone with a passion for the rights and development of African women, I have observed, I have read that AWULO have grown from truly humble beginning some years ago into what it has become today. Every aspect an important space for leadership development among women in Africa. You are playing an important part in the development among women in Africa.
Others honored the event were the immediate past Deputy Governor of the state, Lady Valerie Bear, and Mrs. Gloria Mori, wife of the Secretary to the State Government. Individuals newly recruited into the state civil service have been charged to diligently commit themselves to assigned responsibilities. The head of civil service, Mrs. Cecilia Doyson, gave the charge at a 3-day induction seminar organized by our office for the new entrants. She said by gaining employment into the service, government expects them to join hands in contributing their quota to quality service delivery. The head of civil service advised the inductees to imbibe the ethics, cultural norms of the service, which show respect to constituted authorities, keep the rules of their engagement, and always be guided by the tenets of transparency, accountability, equity, and good conscience. As beginners, Mrs. Udoysin advised them to live within their means in order not to fall into the inglorious act of financial impropriety, while reiterating the preparedness of government to expose the new entrants to some training programs. She challenged them to equally invest in self-development and also accept to be mentored by older colleagues in the service.
Also quickly, the first month in the service to plan for your retirement. The need to commence early retirement planning cannot be overemphasized, as some of our retirees who did not plan for their retirement days are not having it easy today.
Earlier, the chairman of the session, Elder Udor Samodo, said the induction seminar was a demonstration of government's commitment to ensuring that the basic rules and tenets of the service are clearly spelled out to the new entrants to guide them in their career. Elder Samodo urged the newly employed to reciprocate government's gesture by being dedicated to their duties. Also speaking, the Permanent Secretary of Hospitals Management Board, Mrs. Ekerebon, thanked the state government for proving the employment of the new officers, saying they will bridge the yearning manpower gap in most sensitive cadres occasioned by retirement and deaths. Should therefore charge the officers to grab the opportunity with both hands.
To the civil service, please stay on but the things that are good, when you do the bad ones, they find you out. And so why is attitude important? It is the attitude that determines my approach to life. It is my attitude that determines my relationship with people.
Appreciating government on behalf of his colleagues, Mr. Ime Akwasen pledged to do their best to justify the employment. The induction program featured presentations on civil service work ethics by Mrs. Ekerebon Akpan, civil service rules and circulars by Mr. Akpan Brown, machinery of government by Obong John Daniel, security in government handled by Dr. Samuel Akpan, Mrs. Ikemese Epro took the participant through the administration of oath of secrecy in the service. Over 3,500 freshers took part in the training. A mental reformation dinner with pastors in the state has been held in Uyo. The event, which took place at Kefas Place, Enwe Street, was organized by Rema Missions International, one of the kingdom communities of Congress World Breakthrough Network, CWBN. Correspondents report that the event had as its theme, what God is doing in the earth now.
The network, CWBN, was founded by Dr. Noel Woodruff. It is a global faith-based organization committed to affecting human, social, and national transformation through the propagation of value-based development. It also deploys principal partners as well as serving God through right doctrines and conduct. Speaking on the theme, what God is doing in the earth now, the South and Southeast coordinator of CWBN in Nigeria, Dr. Ikom Robert, said what God is doing on earth in the present generation are enormous, including the release of his apostles and other chosen ones to preach Christ to the world. Dr. Robert, who is also the senior elder of Rema Missions International, said some worshippers do not differentiate between Christianity and religion, noting that such can bring consequences which he enumerated to include attracting the wrath of God in form of diseases and other calamities.
So what is God doing in the earth now? God is releasing apostles and moving. God is releasing his apostles. Apostles are sent ones. God is redesigning the church. God is emphasizing the kingdom. God is reshaping our mentalities.
The event also featured questions and answer sessions led by Engineer Richard Bassey, as well as prayers of forgiveness and intercessions by Pastor Imo Ukun.
6 members of the Akwa Ibom State Council of the Nigerian Association of Women Journalists, NAWOJ, have left Akwa Ibom for a tourism reporting conference in the United Arab Emirates. The conference is expected to equip the female journalists with skills to cope with the envisaged tourism explosion in Akwa Ibom, which has been transformed into a destination of choice with numerous tourism potentials. A statement by the Secretary of NAWOJ, Uduaghan says the team is led by the state chairman, Margaret Eden, of the Pioneer Newspaper Chapel of the Nigerian Union of Journalists. Other members are the National Assistant Secretary of Nawuj, Helen Udofa, also the Pioneer Chapel, and Esther Efio of the Information Chapel. The other 3 members of the delegation are from the EKBC family. They are the Director News, Miss Comfort Umana, the State Secretary of Nawuj, Uduaghan, and the Treasurer, Michael Roberts. This is EKBC 45 News. More news after the break.
Today, be inspired, be motivated, achieve your goals. Keep watching AKBC Channel 45, Uyo, the ultimate in television broadcasting.
It's so lovely to be back. The Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation, in collaboration with ICE Television, has held a lecture for young entrepreneurs in Uyo. The conference, which is tagged Young Entrepreneurial Conference, was aimed at equipping entrepreneurs with skills to set up and operate successful businesses. Iyanopo reports that the event took place at the Uyoma Ugochukwu Hall, University of Uyo.
Vision for came up with a aimed at bringing out youths and giving them a direction. We conference for youths in 2013 on employment and abstinence. This to the organizers the level of unemployment in the country, which entrepreneurial skills, and the focus is on bridging theory and youth empowerment and entrepreneurial development. The conference with Mr. John, Dr. Marcelo Fomota, Imeu Moore, Moses Armstrong, Linda Ikeji, Peter Nwachel, Bayo Ademoshun, Eddie Brendan, Nkema Deyiga, Leke Obasan, and Remy Martins, among others. In a lecture, full entrepreneur, Mr. John said to succeed in business, visioneering, conceptualization, be taken into consideration. Mr. Thien said over 600,000 people graduate from tertiary institutions in the country every year, and out of this number, 75% remain unemployed, 25% are employed with salaries ranging from 15 and 20,000 naira, 60% earn between 50,000 and 200,000 naira, while only 4% have their dream jobs. He was of the opinion that unemployment is caused by either laziness or lack of creativity, adding that to be a global player, an entrepreneur must have mindsets as well as skills.
Economic thinking is the ability to see things as they can be and not as they are. An entrepreneur's mindset is you're not worried about salary, you're thinking of how to pay salary.
Including Leke Obasan, addressed as Leke Sachs, Mayor of the University of Uyo, Dennis Isong, and Eddie Brendan, who is the Managing Director of Creative Studio, said the world can only relate with people who can add value to others. They talked on how to make money from the internet, photography, guided meditation, and playing of instruments, especially saxophone.
60 people out of 70 will go for the pure water, whilst only 10 people will go for the choice.
We are talking about the free enterprise system where the individuals are given the opportunity to invest.
I started my business in my house with just my time.
As young people, we must grow who we are.
The Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation, Mrs. Elsie Udofia, said the lecture is aimed at ensuring that youths have direction as successful entrepreneurs. Mrs. Udofia said they had to gather young professionals who have made it in life to impart knowledge to others and to inspire them on how to be successful entrepreneurs rather than waiting for white-collar jobs. The acting director general, however, frowned at the low turnout at the event, urging youths to always grab any opportunity that can expose them.
We came out here, we thought we could encourage one or two persons. They will discover, yes, there is something that I can do to help my generation and help myself.
Some of the participants described the lecture as very rewarding.
One thing I've really learned about this program is like in the morning, I must discover my purpose.
With what they've told us, I get inspired a lot. Seeing the young people that are making money, you can really have a clue on how to make your money too.
It was a day to remember for pupils of Kings and Queens Montessori Nursery and Primary School. The 15th Cultural Day. The Cultural Day, which was the 5th edition since the inception of the school in 1991, featured cultural dances of some ethnic groups in Nigeria, floats and display of cultural attires. Yaina Paul again covered the celebration for AKBC 45 News.
Culture at Kings and Queens Montessori Nursery and Primary School is aimed at showcasing and promoting the rich cultural heritage of the country. It is also an avenue for the pupils to acquaint themselves of the different ethnic groups in the country, their way of lives, attires, languages, and traditional dishes. During the 2015 edition of the event, the children were adorned in their depicting Ibibio, Efik, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and Ijo. The float by ethnic groups was eye-catching in that while some tribes were catwalking to add color to their heritage, others were running, thereby adding comic relief to the event. Another interesting thing about the day was when the people in other languages danced as well as introduced dishes. In all, the audience was thrilled when Efik and the Ibibio groups showcased a kombi and the Ibibio ethnic dance steps. There was also a drama presentation on unity of purpose, which encouraged Nigerians to marry from any part of the country.
Daddy about okay, you mean no? Abasi Kano. I was son who me. I'll be a fear, I'll be a fear. And since you don't go now for Bonko, and the Akebere was son, what the boy Kibi Dodo. Abasi can go around.
When it was the turn to select the 2015 King and Queen of the school, Beauty and Brain were at work. Thereafter, Edimege Komande and Queen Usene Kanem, daughter of Usene Kanem of the News Directorate of the Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation, emerged 2015 King and Queen of the school. The new King and Queen expressed gratitude to the school for the confidence reposed in them to carry everyone along during the reign.
Feel happy. Make our school to be in progress. It sounds so fantastic. I'll help them to be just like me. Proud and be so beautiful.
Earlier, the principal of the school, Elder Fion Okpan, said that the day is to commemorate the rich culture of the country and to ensure that the children had fun outside academic work. Elder Akpan also stressed that it is the right of the pupils to know their tradition, languages, food, attires, hence the need for the day.
So this is the time for us to tell them what we use in preparing our dishes, where they come from, even the names of their parents, their villages.
The event climaxed with a unity dance by teachers, parents, and the pupils.
Nigeria is blessed with rich cultural heritage, and it is interesting to note that the culture in every part of this country is promoted. But what will be more interesting is when parents ensure that their children are grounded with their different culture. From Kings and Queens Montessori Primary and Elementary School,
reporting.
Recruitment of A men and A women into the Nigerian Air Force begins today, Monday 15th June, and will last till 20th June 2015. The Center for Akwa Ibom State is 97 Special Operations Group, Nigerian Air Force Port Harcourt. A statement from the Office of the Secretary to the State Government directs citizens of Akwa Ibom who applied online for the recruitment to go with duly completed application forms printed from the internet and local government attestation forms. They are also requested to go with letters of attestation of good character, original copies of certificate, declaration of age, acknowledgement form, and any other necessary document. Applicants, the statement advised, should log into Nigerian Air Force website careers.nigerianairforce.gov.ng. The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Youth and Sport, Otuekong Sedem, has challenged sport writers to remain focused on activities that promote sports development in the state. Speaking while receiving executive officers of the state chapter of the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria, SWAN, and members of the SWAN Games Committee, Otuekong Sedem said, by so doing, sport writers will assist government and private bodies improve the sports sector. The Permanent Secretary identified SWAN as an important partner in the sports sector, noting that the Ministry of Youth and Sport will continue to support the activities of the association, especially the areas of workshops and seminars aimed at promoting professionalism.
Now that we have come back together as a family, I can assure you, all of us here, we are going to work as a family. Whatever is due SWAN, we will give it to them.
The Director of Sport, Coach Anyedi Dixon, in his remarks expressed happiness of the level of cooperation extended to the Ministry and Sports Council by the Association over the years. With the appointment of Otuekong Sedem as Permanent Secretary, the Ministry, he said, stands a chance of attracting more benefit from government.
And he has been one of us and really part of us. So I thank God that we have him.
Earlier, the chairman of SWAN in the state, Elder Owomeko, said sports writers decided to identify with a new permanent secretary since his appointment. And the court said it was the wish of the association to ensure a better working relationship with the ministry and intimated the permanent secretary of the NUJ and SWAN Games Bill to kick off later this month.
We are very hopeful that you will use your wealth of experience to change the face of sports in the states. We also want to urge you to partner SWAN and other sports stakeholders in the states in order to boost this sector.
The National Vice President of SWAN, Mr. Justice Udoso, stressed the need for government to appoint what it called round pegs into round holes, describing the appointment of Otuekong Sedem with experience in sports as a welcome development into the sports ministry. Mr. Udoso urged the ministry and the Sports Council to actualize the regular use of the Akwa Ibom International Stadium for the benefit of athletes and sports. Golfers from various parts of the country and the world are in Akwa Ibom for the second edition of the Starwood Preferred Games SPG Invitational held at Le Meridien Ibom Hotel and Golf Resort. Sports reporter Justice Udoso says about 100 of golfers turn up for the Invitational, which is a yearly ritual for Starwood Hotels for its numerous guests who take to golf. teeing off from holes 1 and 10, the golfers had earlier been given a red carpet reception by the organizers, who promised to arrange a range of prizes including week-long and weekend stay at some Starwood hotels around the world. General Manager of the Millennium Hotels, Mr. Mark Devlin, Barry Curran and Roger Well, heads, were part of those seeking for golf glory at the 18-hole course, which has been adjudged the best in the country. Speaking with AKBC News, the communications manager of Starwood Hotels, Nandi Tiam, said the company will always
prominent in Abuja, in Lagos, in Uyo, and several parts of the country. We have very beautiful golf courses. This is one of them.
The invitational ended yesterday with awards of prizes to deserving golfers. 9 women golfers are participating in this year's edition. You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging onto akbconline.org. Follow us on Twitter at AKBC450 or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. And to conclude the news, the main point again. A Thanksgiving Mass in honor of the immediate past governor of the state, Chief Godsluck Pabi, took place yesterday in Ikorepana. The trusted state governors and members of the National Assembly. Also, the governor's wife, Mrs. Martha Domi-Manuel, has been decorated as patron of the state chapter of the African Women in Leadership Organization. And that's it on the news this morning. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeffrey.
Achieve your goals. Keep